Hello, it's Pastor Pierre Laguerre here from Kingdom Oasis, coming to you live this evening on a Sunday evening. Wanted to share with you one key message today, and wherever you're hailing from, please let me know. And of course, don't forget to check out my upcoming webinar on goals. Specifically, you've got dreams and you've got goals, and this year you have to achieve them. So in line with that, I've got a free webinar that's coming up this week, and I want to be able to share it with you. So if you're interested, click on the link that's with this video, and ultimately I will see you on the webinar later this week. So with that said, I've got my notes ready for tonight, but specifically I want to talk to you about embracing your journey. And this is important because a lot of us, we have not necessarily embraced our journey. We've made peace with where we are. And there's the big difference between making peace with your current circumstances and embracing your journey. You see, embracing your journey means there is a step of faith that you have to take, and you recognize that the world needs you. And most importantly, you have to have an impact on the world around you, because there are many people that are suffering. There are many people that need not just encouragement, they need somebody to take them by the hand and pull them in the direction they're supposed to be going. And that's you. You, that person that's going to do it for others, as you basically get yourself up by the bootstraps and move forward with what you're supposed to be doing. But before we talk about doing, what I want to talk to you about is being who you are. Embracing the journey means, first off, you have to accept who you are. You have to be that person. You see, you cannot be anybody else. The world has one Michael Jackson, and of course we know he's no longer here. One Michael Jordan, one Tom Brady. There's not going to be any other of these people. Now, you can try to imitate them, and you know what? It's going to be a sad day if you die a copycat of Michael Jordan. You got to be yourself. You know, Steph Curry, he's not trying to be another Michael Jordan. You know, LeBron James, definitely not. Now, they may admire the guys that went before them. They may admire great players before them, like Tom Brady's favorite player was Joe Montana. You know, and he saw himself playing like a Joe Montana, but ultimately what he did was greater than Joe Montana, right? And in the same way, what you are doing right now is supposed to be greater than those who went before you, those who taught you. You're supposed to aim absolutely for outer space. You see, not just for the stars, and the stars are of course in outer space, but what I'm saying is you have to aim so high that everybody else that set a standard before you, you have to surpass that standard. So your journey is going to be totally different than somebody else's journey. And of course, in line with that, you're going to have your own failures to deal with. You're going to have to overcome the obstacles in your way. You're going to have to overcome all kinds of distractions along the way. But you see, friend, what happens, many of us, we try to hide from embracing our journey. And by hiding, I mean, you try to take on somebody else's journey and look at it and say, well, you know, they failed here, they failed there, they didn't do this, they succeeded here, oh, maybe I could do that. And there's nothing wrong with that, in looking at somebody else and saying, look, I could learn some things from that person. I could absolutely learn some methods, some strategies, but ultimately it's about developing your own confidence in doing. You see, first you are to be who you are, and then from that comes your doing. And you know, as a minister, my heart is to always see Jesus doing the things that he saw the Father doing. But first, he had to know that he was a son. First, he was a son, and he is the Son of God. And now he's called us sons and daughters of God. So now the key here is this. Once you know who you are, now you can step out and start walking out who you are, walking out the process of your life and laying down the plan that you're called to do. Hello, how you doing there? Please say hi as you're watching. So the point is, you know, what is the journey that you have? What is it that you're looking forward to doing? And a lot of us, we kind of run from the journey, or worse yet, we sit there and we tell everybody, this time, you know, I'm going to do this. And I say worse because if you tell people what you're going to do and you don't draw up a plan to do it, it's nothing but a wish. And a lot of you are sitting there, you have wishes on your hands, and they're wishes because there's no date attached to them. They're not things that are even realistic per se, meaning you say you want to be a billionaire. Great. There's nothing wrong with that. But do you know what it's going to take? And do you know what creates billions? Do you know what products you need to be selling and how long you need to be selling those products to get to that place? You say you want to be a multimillionaire. Great, it's fine. All those things you can do, but you have to develop yourself to reach that level. You see, you have to develop yourself, and you're going to understand that those who reach those levels, they had to work on themselves. The thing you have to work on is here, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And a lot of people are not necessarily working on the entire mind. And I'm not talking your face, I'm talking your mind, because your mind consists really of not just your brain, but your entire soul, who you are. It's part of that, right? So then when it comes to embracing your journey, you have to make a decision that you're going to be yourself. You're not going to try to be anybody else. You see, what's going to be attractive to other folks is that they can connect with you for who you are. And when they can actually see you for who you are, how you doing there? Hey, thanks for stopping by. So, when they can see you for who you are, Todd, what's going on, my friend? Then people can connect with you. And whatever service or product that you're bringing to folks, they're going to love that. You see, people are going to connect with you. They're going to trust you because then they're going to recognize you are here to give them value along the way. You see, Jesus came, and along the way, he gave plenty of value to those who followed him. And so for you, embracing your journey means, what is the value that I already have? What is the value that I can share with those around me? What is it that I can do for them as far as value that I can share with them, and then help them get to a place where they can go higher than where they are today? Hey, my brother, thank you for listening in. So the reality here is this: you have to think about your journey. You have to think about, what is it that I'm going to do? How is it that I'm going to change? You see, because your journey, when you embrace it, is going to force you now to develop who you are. You see, you basically came to this world as a seed, but that seed is growing. And though it is growing on the outside, it's maturing on the outside, you're going to have to mature internally. You're going to have to mature professionally, mentally, emotionally. You're going to have to mature in so many levels. If you want to build a business, you're going to have to become a mature entrepreneur, a mature business person. You're going to have to learn not just methods and strategies, but what it's going to take when the business is like a boat in rough waters, right? If it's a ministry, you're going to have to understand when things are on and when things are off. What exactly are you going to do? So in embracing your journey, this week, I want to talk to you about the fact that the world needs you. You, not somebody else. And they don't need you being a copycat. The worst thing I once saw, and I'm not saying it's the worst, it was an interesting thing. I saw this minister who basically was doing everything like another big minister that I knew way back then. This is back in the 90s. And this man acted just like Benny Hinn. Okay, I'll be frank. I'll tell it. I don't know the man's name, so I'm not naming the man. But I'm just simply saying, I love Benny Hinn, and he would act just like Benny Hinn. He would even have his way of speaking just like him. And I was like, wow, it's interesting that this man does everything just like the other guy. And you could see it in him. He went to, many Benny Hinn meetings and probably went to a lot of his close encounters, right? But at the end of the day, he was having an impact. Now, don't get me wrong. But the point is, I'm sure that he probably would have been a little better if he was just himself. And I'm just saying that, because so many of us, we want to copy somebody else, but copy methods and strategies, but eventually be you, be who you are, and give the world all of you. See, all I can give you is who I am. All I can share with you is what I know from what I'm doing. Now, I can share stuff with you that I'm studying, but until I'm implementing it and doing it, it won't have the same power, and it will never come across with the same conviction as to what I'm actually doing. And so I want you to take that with you. And as you go away this Sunday evening, think, what is the journey that I'm on? Where is it that I want to end up? If this time next year I'm in the same place, it's because I did not necessarily set goals. I did not necessarily draw up a plan. I did not necessarily write down where is it that I'm going. Jesus went in that wilderness, but he knew what was written down already about him, for him, and about his future. And that's how he defeated the enemy that came against him. He was able to tell the enemy, it is written. So in the same way, you have to have written plans. You have to have written goals and a plan of action for each and every goal that you have. In line with that, I'm doing a webinar this week click on the link that's with this video. And basically right now, I'm going to update the link once the video is posted to go directly to kingdomoasis.net/ what is it? It's my paradigm shift webinar. It's called The New Shift. And so I'm going to make sure that you can get to that link. And this week, later this week, it's going to be one of the evenings, I'll do the webinar. And of course, I'll share it with others, and you will be able to catch the replay if you never caught the live one. But the point here is this. I want to talk to you about your goals. What is it that you have written down? And I want to take you through a process by which you can quickly identify the strategies necessary to set forth your 30, 90, 1 year goals, and by 30 and 90, 30 day and 90 day goals, because a lot of times until we write down what we want to do, we don't see the path. And if we miss the path, we're not going to get on the right path, basically, to get to the destination that we're going to. And so you understand how important that is. So thanks so much for being with me tonight, Todd. Thank you very much. Tomorrow again, I'll be back online. But today, the question is, are you embracing your journey? Because the journey is only designed for you and you alone. Think about the red pill and the blue pill, but it's up to you to take the journey. I love you, and I'll catch up with you very soon. That is tomorrow. Enjoy.